Hi, I'm Tony, and welcome to my channel, Watch Time LA. Hello folks, and welcome to another episode of Watch Time LA. This is the first video I've done in about 4 or 5 weeks. I got busy with a bunch of stuff from work and home and a few other projects that I've started on. I'm going to give a shout out to a new program I found called Plex. If you guys have a DVD collection and you want to put it all in one place, go download a free program called Handbrake, rip all your DVDs and put them into a new program that I found called Plex. It's one of the best media servers I have ever seen. There is a cost to it if you want to use some of the advanced features, but the basic features are all free. Okay, today we're going to be looking at a fashion watch. However, it's a fashion watch that I happen to really like. When I first started in the watch hobby, when I started buying watches seemingly randomly, this is one of the first ones that I picked up. I just really liked the look. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that I have since come to find out that plated watches, I don't care who makes them, tend to have a problem with the plating scratching, discoloring, and just flat out rubbing off. I anticipate that at some point that's exactly what will happen to this fine specimen. But anyway, really like the watch. If you start looking, I'll see how close I can get here. You'll notice right away this thing has, oh wait, I should probably tell you what it is. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm going to say Burei, or something to that effect. I'm sure they're trying to get a French name out of this, but if I found this on Amazon. In fact, if you put in this particular SKU number, the only place really it comes up is on Amazon. It came up in one other place. Now, there are other Burei watches around the internet, and these aren't base price watches, but they're certainly not expensive. As you can tell by the ticking there, it's a quartz watch. It has a domed crystal that gives quite a distortion when you get it at certain angles. It actually looks pretty cool. The dial is highly textured. We'll see that when we get up close. Dial's done very well, and as you can see also, it's a chronograph, a working chronograph. It's actually an all stainless steel watch. Now, I'm not sure if it's polished or plated. I can't really tell you, but the fact that it has a screw down case back for this quartz watch leads me to believe it's probably polished. Now, I've been wearing this watch for work, no, I wouldn't say fairly regularly because I have too many watches, but I really like it when I'm wearing certain type of shirt. This seems to really work really well. And actually, let's do this. I'm going to put a picture of it. It'll come right over this image here in a moment. So this is what it looks like underneath the shirt. The shirt kind of brings out this rose gold tone on the bezel and the pushers. The pushers are also gold toned, as you can see, rose gold. The crown, look at that, is signed. And when by the way, I don't know why, but I always like dates in a weird place, and this is no exception. This one is not at the 4 o'clock. It's kind of in between the 4 and the 5, and it's not quite centered, but I'm okay with that. I like the oddity of that. At the top, it has something that's trying to come off of some sort of gem or something. I don't really know what it is. It might even be just a piece of glass, or just the way it's reflecting. We'll get close to that in a minute, but the chronograph absolutely works. you'll see the lower dial start to turn. It'll go in 60 seconds here, 1 minute to 1 hour here, and then 24 hours. So it's a true 24-hour chronograph. And one of the things I like about it is when you do set it and reset it, it actually snaps back exactly on zeros. Sometimes you'll find these quartz watches, the less expensive ones, they'll be a little bit off either way. This one is not. Fairly well put together piece. Let me take it off my silly stand here. One of the things I really like about this, if I can get this off, is this burgundy band is super, super cool looking. It's really soft. They say it's genuine leather, and when I say that it passes the smell test, it actually passes the smell test. It smells like leather. And like I said, it's got the burgundy with the white stitching. The buckle is signed. It feels like it's substantial. You can see the thickness of it there. It's not stamped. It doesn't look like. It's steel. It's a 20 millimeter band, by the way, so it's beefy enough. The bezel looks like it might be a separate piece on here. Looks like it might be pressed on there. As you can see, it's done pretty well. One of the things I hate about some screw down watches is they don't line up. When the watch is like that, and this one is no different. If you look, it says it's all stainless steel, by the way, although I have no idea what kind of stainless steel it is. Okay, it also says that it's 30 meters water resistance. It's a mineral glass crystal, and for those quartz haters, it is a quartz watch. And the model number here says S17005M. It has a couple of other numbers on the website. It also adds P03AR-A. It's too much to remember, so should be popped up on the screen here at the same time. As far as a dress watch, this thing is awesome. It's awesome. It has some good weight to it. I have a guy who's a real Rolex nut, saw me with a short sleeve shirt one day, and he literally grabbed my arm and said, "What is that?" You know, and he looked at it, twisted my arm a couple of times, said Burei, of course, and then walked away, which is what I expected for a watch snob. But in any case, it's really a cool looking watch. I don't regret this at all, although I got to tell you that I saw this, I bought it sight unseen when I first started getting into the watch hobby. Had I known all about the two-tone and how easily it scratches and removes, and after I started working on watches regularly, like if I take some of the polish that I use that I normally could use on this, it would literally, without almost no effort, it would rub that gold right off of there. But other than that, it's a really, really nicely done watch. When I do some close-ups, I'm going to put a close-up lens. I'm not going to use the scope on this because there's really no reason to. And I'm also going to try and cut this thing as short as I possibly can tonight, just so I don't have to do hours worth of editing. Okay, so I popped the back off and turned around. Now I'm not under my normal scope because I did need to get that close. We're taking a look at the movement with the screw down case back off. And this movement is made by Hattori. It's a Japanese movement. They're SII series. And if you look down at the bottom there, the movement number is VD53C. Now, this movement can be had if it needed to be replaced for about 20 bucks. So keep that in mind. I don't know if you call that wholesale or retail, but I could buy them at one of the places that I get watch movements from for repairs between 18 and 20 bucks. The watch itself, delivered to my door, was 55 bucks. So that's not a bad deal. I mean, this is a typical Japanese quartz watch. And you'll see there's actually two stepper motors there. One is for the time and one is for the chronograph. Now, just to give you a quick look, This is a Swiss quartz watch. Now, it looks substantially different. I mean, it's metal instead of plastic all over. This came out of actually a Raymond wheel watch. But, you know, there's a definite difference. So this quartz watch, you know, at the high end, $40. So, you know, you can get some of these quartz movements, by the way, for $5 and $6. So this is definitely not the cheapest. It's a pretty darn good one. Oh, but you see where it says push right there with the little arrow? If you push on that spot, that's how you release the crown right there. Just push on there and pop the crown out, for those who need to know. Here's a close-up of the back of the band. Let me turn it around here. Pretty darn nice. Love the stitching, love the color. Now that we're at the front of the watch, if we can get through the glare here, I'm hoping to. I had to mess around with the light controls here. Hopefully this will work. Whenever you're dealing with a domed crystal that is not sapphire, you wind up with this tremendous amount of glare. But now that we have it here, you can see very clearly the detail on this dial. There's even detail on the sub dials, so you can get it in the right light here. Okay, now you can see the detail on the sub dials. You'll also see they have a ring of there. Oh, that's a better shot. See that? Now you can see the color of the plating, the rose gold. All the indices are perfectly applied. The numbers are applied. The Burei, the name, is also applied. And again, you know, I don't know what that is, some sort of piece of quartz they put on there. But they're all perfectly lined up. The outer chapter ring is two things in one. So the outer chapter ring, you have, if you can get, I don't know how close we'll be able to get here. That's about it. So you see they're raised, and then on about every third one, there's a painted black line. Some of them aren't perfectly lined up, but they're close enough. And there's your water resistance 30, and then it says, I believe at the bottom it says, oh no, there's just the outer chapter ring. So let's try this one more time. You see the chrono going right there. I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to reset it if I push the right button. Now that's odd. It didn't do that before. I don't know if it's going to go all the way around to where it started. Normally they don't do that. Well, I guess it did. It did go all the way around. Very strange. Anyway, there is your date window. It's a very three-dimensional window that's been applied as well. You know, I really can't find any fault with this watch as far as, I mean, other than, of course, people are going to say it's quartz, or are you a moron? Of course there's fault with it. And it's plated. But yeah, I guess I am a moron. Been called worse. But I think it was done pretty darn well. I can't find anything wrong with it. The plating, I mean the polishing is, and I wore this watch, polishing is done pretty well. Oh my goodness, let me get some of those prints off there. Okay, so what do you think of the polishing? Looks pretty darn good, right? There's a close-up of the pusher, the crown, and there is the band again. Hasn't cracked yet. Of course it will at some point. And sorry about shaking the camera here. Do that the right way. And there you go. All right, let's take some measurements and wrap this thing up. Okay, the good news is I was able to line that sucker up almost perfectly. Look at that. I'm happy, happy, happy. I took that off. Anyway, here's my, here's the weight on this thing. It is 2.2 ounces, and that is 63 grams. You can see that. And we do some of the other measurements here. By the way, none of this information was on the website as far as measurements go here. They were in inches, so oops. And here I am again doing it again. 0. By the way, this is not a caliper NASA would use, okay? This is the Harbor Freight, the one I used for measuring simple stuff around the house. I have a very, very nice caliper for doing exact work. Anyway, here we go. All right, so we're looking at a very nice, very comfortable 41 to 42. Thickness, 12.4. And lug to lug, let's call it 49. And by the way, what am I wearing today? I'm wearing my house beater, which means that this is all resin, plastic, crystal, just for wearing around the house from Casio. I think that was 15 bucks. Let's put this guy on the wrist. The band is super, super nice. There you go. Little over 40. Fits very flat on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. As you can see, there's no gap there. Nothing. It's got a nice beefy band. It's got a great look to it. Like I said, it has drawn attention before. So the question always is, because I bought this sight unseen kind of impulsively, would I buy it again? That's really it. Or would I recommend it to someone else? The answer to both questions, yes. I would. I have no problem with quartz watches. I have kind of a problem with plated watches, but if it's something you're going to wear just occasionally, with the right shirt or with the right pants or whatever you want to call it, if you're going to go to that extreme, for 55 bucks for a dress watch, I think it's a home run. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Most of all, please, 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 I'm almost there. I can't believe it. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I can get back into the YouTube program. I'd appreciate it if you like what you see here and you like the videos that I'm doing. Please subscribe and we'll keep the channel going. Thank you for your time. We'll see you on the next episode of Watch Time LA.